Hey there, it's Peter, the mechanic at beachbikes.com. Now I'm going to show you how to install a basket. This is the Wald 135. I'm going to install the Wald 135. You need either a Phillips or a flathead. Generally, either screwdriver will do. You need a 15mm wrench to go ahead and get your wheel off, and then an adjustable wrench as well. So undo the tape that holds the parts together. You have the basket itself. You have two struts, and you have a bag of hardware. Okay? Now there are two different ways to attach the struts. On most of these you have two different holes. One that can either go over the axle, or a smaller one that can be attached where the fender strut goes. Sometimes they don't fit both ways, so you have to decide which one. On this one we're going to go ahead and do it on the axle. Okay? So that requires my 15mm wrench. Go ahead and loosen the axle nuts. I'm going to take them completely off. I'm going to completely remove the axle nuts. I'm going to put up the kickstand and rest the bicycle on its fork, like this. And then you can take the two struts, slip them right over the axle, because these are going to go on the inside of the fork. Okay? So I'm going to pick the bicycle back up again. I'm going to very carefully place the fork back onto the axle in such a way that the struts are on the inside of the fork. Okay? The kickstand back on, up. I'm going to put the kickstand back down. Place the washers and the axle nuts back on, like this. Now we're going to hand tighten them, but leave them loose so that we can continue to put the other parts in place before we fully tighten everything. Okay? These are like this. They can move however we need to adjust them. Okay? Now the next step, go ahead and place the Wald basket. The Wald 135 has these two hooks. These will go right onto the handlebar, like that. You can rest like this. Sometimes they'll drop down far enough to hit the fender, so be careful you don't scratch the fender. You may want to put a cloth or a piece of foam there. Now you can pull out the hardware. There are two long screws and two short screws. The long screws go up in the top, right here where the handlebars are. Slip those through the two holes, and then on the back side you can place the two square nuts. There are going to be square nuts that go on the back and attach to the long screws up by the handlebars, like this. Again, just hand tighten. You don't want to tighten it all the way yet. Now, on the underside of the basket, you'll find two tabs here, which we'll go ahead and attach to the bracket. Place those so the two holes overlap each other. And now get one of the shorter screws, place it through the hole, get the lock washer, and place it on there, and the hand tightening will only go up to the nylon locking part. So you can just leave that just a couple threads engaged. Do it on the other side, the short screw, the other short screw, the other tab, like that. Place the lock nut on that screw. Then go ahead and take your screwdriver and your adjustable wrench. You go ahead and tighten these first here. Okay? Then tighten it up here at the handlebars. The very last step, go down to the bottom, make sure your wheels align, centered in the fork, line up with the 15 millimeter. That's it. It should take you 5-10 minutes.